Your Miami Hurricanes picked up a big win, especially in the second half, 53-31 over Manny Diaz and Duke. Why are we here?
It's the recap show. It's the recap show. Your Miami Hurricanes, 53-31.
How you guys doing?
Burger. Doing good. Us and FIU, and not Manny, because Manny lost to FIU. How you doing, Scoop? How was the game?
Game was good.
Enjoyed it?
Yeah, and enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. We're allowed back. I would say at halftime there were questions. There were questions being asked, and pretty funny story. But it turned around. It turned around for us. The game was nice. Let's start off by giving a huge shout out to X. Congratulations, young man. That is, and to do it that way is even better, right? You don't want to break that record with a 4-yard curl, right? 66 yards to the house. Just awesome. Like, couldn't be a better dude, and his family is amazing. And it's been a journey for him, and he is now at the top of the record books at a place that's had some really, really great talent at receiver. So cool.
I don't know if you saw it, Bud, but you were at the game, but they showed Mama. And we know Mama Restrepo.
I saw it.
Yeah, and it was a heartfelt moment. She teared up, and rightfully so. I mean, your son is now immortalized. You know, it is a remarkable record. I broke down that play at Student of the Game. You could go ahead and catch that out later. But it was funny because Manny tried to play that same little cat and mouse game that I was talking about, how they do some really cool stuff in the secondary, turn their back, except you try to do it with Cam Ward, and Cam Ward just obliterated it. And Xavier Restrepo split the two safeties and ran off into the record books. It was a phenomenal play. I enjoyed it, and good for him. Good for him. Now he wants to go golfing tomorrow. He's putting it out there on social. He goes, somebody want to go golfing tomorrow?
Yes. I'll keep it at that.
Yeah.
Novak's in town, so he's trying to make that happen. Speaking of Cam Ward, I'm gonna make a statement. I'm not saying that I'm comparing the two, but I'm gonna make a statement, which the more I watch, the more I believe is accurate. Cam Ward has the quickest release since Dan Marino.
I am saying it is quicker than anybody I've seen on college. It's quicker than anybody I've seen this year. I'm not against that. It is stupid quick. It's stupid quick.
Like the throw to X. It's almost as though it doesn't even go behind him. It just goes like this. You know what I mean? It literally is just it's like Werfel at warp speed, where he just pushes it out there. It's wild stuff, man. So
where did the campaign start from?
Oh, I don't know. You know how it goes.
It started right here. So let's start another trend.
400 tutties, bro.
Let's start another trend.
Okay.
Camerino. Camerino. It is. You're right. He has the quickest release since Dan Marino. He's Camerino.
I'm there with you.
All right. What attorney's going to tell us we can't copyright that too? Are we getting a call from
next,
Dan?
I'm sure.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll there you go. The phone's vibrating right now as we speak. Listen, the fact that you can even make that statement and not have someone laugh at your face is all the validation that you need that it's actually a debate. I'd be interested to see someone actually break it down with a stopwatch. And we can see, I'm sure someone will this week. But all right, so listen. So Cam, as you said, finishes with 400 yards, 5 touchdowns. X finishes with 8 catches for 146. Isaiah Horton had, and he also had 3 touchdowns, 6 for 71. As I said, we were making comments during the live stream, Scoop, that the running back tandem of Fletcher Martinez today, they were basically identical. Their stat line was basically identical throughout the entire game. And my takeaway, and this is what we talked about, we were down at the half, but every time we're yelling, the sky is falling, we're screwed, this is not going well, oh my God, what the hell's happening? This team responds. Say as bad as that defense was in the first half, they were 180 degrees better in the second half. Outscored them, 36-10 in the second half, 36 to
No, you nailed it.
3 or whatever. At one point,
10.
No, but
21 to 3
in
in
the
the
fourth.
fourth.
There was a run. I think there was a run of like 36-0 maybe, or I don't know.
21-3 in the fourth, 36-10 in the second half.
But so what I'm saying is that, like, they keep responding, and it's never going to be perfect in college. It's not the pros. There's no teams. It's rare that you're going to run into like a team that's a total juggernaut and always has perfect games. It's not always pretty. But bro, they covered again.
They did by the hook. Same thing.
They did it again.
They did
I think it closed at 19.5, so there was a little bit of breathing room there. But yeah.
Oh.
But if it was a 21.5, you got it by the hook.
Wrong score, but I picked the hook.
Yeah. So, I mean, they keep responding. So why are they not going to respond the last 3 games?
Well, you expect it. And Ro has mentioned this. We've talked about this. This is a national championship caliber offense. And they just put up another 50 spot and could and should have had 60.
Should have had 60, yes.
Right? Elijah called that. Right? Lofton's like, this guy's coming. This guy's coming. You watch it, and it doesn't get picked up. But they almost had 60 against Manny.
Yeah.
And they are. So it's like, okay, when are they going to do it? Because in the first half, started off real hot. And then they slowed. And they had a 3 and out, and all I could think about was that's Toast's fault. Right? I mean,
you didn't make the stat.
Well, you shouldn't have brought it up. We had a 3 and out. We almost had a 3 and out to open the game and had to get a 3rd and 10 there.
What did I say in my key to the game? Second key to the game was, don't worry, Cam, 3rd and long, and there'll always be someone open in the middle of the field. And what happened? Yeah, converted right there, middle of the field.
Look, the defense is not great. We know that. And they made some great adjustments after. Now Duke got the ball, drove down the field, scored a touchdown, went up 28-17. And then it got nuts. And then we had another circus throw back to the opposite hash. I don't know what's going on with that.
Tell me why.
I don't
know why he does it.
I don't know why. Why? Somebody tell me why that happens.
I don't know why he does it. But you live with it. You die by. He threw for 5 touchdowns, and that was his only interception on the game. Yes, it's monumentally perplexing how he does those certain things, but you gotta live with it. I mean, at this point, you have to. He's after today. I know Colorado had a pretty big game, but he has to be the runaway favorite right now for the Heisman. Okay,
he's not.
Well, he's not. Travis
Hunter is probably in the lead, but but you look at today, 405 touchdowns. Crazy, dude.
Colorado's going to lose again, and I don't care that he plays. I do care that he plays both ways. It's impressive, but I mean, it's Cam Ward. And listen, Colorado's not going to
elite both ways, bro.
I know. Listen to me though. Colorado's, if he wins on that, it's just because he's playing both ways. He's not like he's going to impact that team. That team's not making the playoffs. That team's not. But Cam Ward is going to have University of Miami threatening to play into the playoffs. They're undefeated. Do you know how bad we've been? You know how bad the University of Miami Hurricanes have been? And it hasn't been until Cam Ward has showed up that he is basically he went into the closet and took the poo and threw it out. Like he did that. Like he reversed the closet poo jinx. And we're not going to give him he deserves a Heisman on that alone.
I would just say that
Colorado's
we can probably go back through
again.
some of the offseason episodes, but I'm pretty sure all of us picked Colorado to have a similar season to FSU. And right now they're ranked 23rd and they have a shot to win the Big 12. So they're definitely playing. They're not going to, are they a playoff team? No. But listen, man, we have it. And I get what you're saying, Ro. And normally it's de facto, it's going to go to someone that's putting up numbers like Cam right now. But I'm friggin' old and I haven't seen anyone do what Travis Hunter has done in my whole friggin' life. So, I mean, like, it's insane. He's an elite on both sides of the ball. He's a shutdown corner and a number 1 wide receiver.
They have a game against Texas Tech, Utah, Kansas, and Oklahoma State.
I got you. We'll see.
I think that Cam deserves it, but
I think he does too.
I'm with Ro on this. But I also understand what you're saying. We've never witnessed anything like it.
No.
They lost to USC. They lost to Oregon State.
Not about this. The win-loss doesn't make a difference.
It doesn't mean
Yeah.
that he deserves the
That was last year,
Heisman for the most valuable player in the country.
Right. Correct. He's the best player in the country.
Danny O'Brien for sure. I mean.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's a lock.
Yeah.
So you look at the last
Davey
three
O'Brien.
Heismans. Think about this. Timing is everything, as they say. But you look at Cam's obliterating all of their numbers, and there's a debate. I mean, that's the crazy part. But Genty didn't have a particularly great game against San Diego State, and his G5. So,
well, listen. If we're going to talk numbers, I think we shouldn't be having this conversation without talking about the man that showed up today. 4 times more than he has all season long, averaged 44.5 with a long of 52 inside the 20. Dylan Joyce, everybody. Nice job, kid. Weren't sure you were even on the team, but well done.
Yeah. Wait, we have a punter. We're
punted more than he has the whole season.
And we still scored 53.
Exactly. He should have had 60.
Until you just said he was the punter, I didn't know who the hell you were talking about. Like, who the hell is he talking about?
Well, we went from having a punter that everyone knew for 4 years.
Think about that.
In Lou.
Think about it. He had 4 punts today. They still scored 53.
Mm-hmm.
What if I told you, I'm going to set it. Let's play a game. Over, under. Duke had 8 tackles for loss. Over or under?
Over.
Under.
Under.
Oh,
we actually kept them to 6 tackles for loss today. And it, I think they had 4 of them in like the first 2 drives. I'm going to be honest. They kind of blew us up.
I actually don't remember any of them, which is why
I remember a couple of them. They blew us up. 6 tackles for loss in the game.
All right, so
we took away Manny's primary calling card, right? We took away his calling card. If we could stay ahead of chains instead of behind the chains, I think we're going to be okay. And we haven't touched on a sore subject yet. But go ahead, Toast.
Well, I think I was about to bring up one of the sore subjects. So while the second half things turned around, there's obviously some significant deficiencies on this defense, both in I think some of the players who were on the field, but also the scheme and the guy that's calling some of the defense. We were talking about it, and Roe was just harping on it for the better part of 3 hours. The cushion that the cornerbacks are giving wide receivers scoop, and big plays, man. It's still like we're guaranteed to give the opposing team at least 5 plays of at least 20 yards, whether it's through the air or on the ground.
It's a subject that is kind of twofold for me. I get it, but you also have to look at the other 95% of the plays where they're defending the ball pretty well. The problem is that those plays typically burn you. It just popped in my mind too. There were a couple plays that were not reviewed today.
Mm-hmm.
That I thought to myself, what are we doing? Like, are we not reviewing this? Right. And then like the one on the one side where he didn't catch the ball, like literally was juggling. It had no possession of the ball. That was like maybe from like 3rd and 12 to 3rd and 3, and then they got it. And then the one near the end zone right before they scored, right? They just ran up, snapped it. Nobody even bought. I'm like, what do we do? Anyway, so the big plays, they just tend to be inopportune, right? Because a lot of times you can give up big plays and that they don't necessarily lead to points. But like these always do. It's like one of those things where it just kind of compounds on itself because a lot of the times they're playing well. OJ, again, another fantastic afternoon. I mean, he is true freshman All-American across the board. I don't think there's any question. He's the best corner. He's the best corner on the team.
I was telling Roe that he for the next years he's going to take away half of the field.
He's got that opportunity too.
He's so good,
good because he's going to get better.
Person, like he's really starring now. Like he's become that guy, and you can see it in person. Like and he wears shorts, which I find very interesting. Like if you go and you look at his pants, they're like my Viore. I mean, they're literally like 7-inch inseam.
You're what?
I kid you not.
What label did you just drop on us?
Viore. I was like, not even Lulu.
Viore.
Great pants.
Is Viore's.
I'm telling you, go look at OJ's pants.
His Vioris. OJ's
They're
Vioris.
shorts. Everyone's like,
the
bro, what are you?
episode title.
It's
OJ's
incredible.
Vioris.
It's incredible.
Well,
so
we're 9 games. 9 games.
There's one play. Ro, can you do? You already just doing the game?
Yeah, but tell me what play because I already watched it. There's a good chance I already saw it. What's the play?
So it's the play where they score to tie it.
Okay, 14-14.
Right? 14-14. They ran out into the flat to the field side, to the north side of the stadium.
It was a Z out. I know exactly what it is. They did 100%. It from a bunch.
There were 3 defenders that ran to the middle of the field.
And this is a microcosm.
To cover no one.
And this is a microcosm, and you're kind of stealing my thunder, but I'll use that play to be the backdrop of what you're stealing my thunder.
Okay.
So they're running a man coverage. They got single high. First of all, number 7, liability. I'm 9 games in. I'm just telling you, he's a liability. He had the opportunity. He is still running down like it's about to be a slant when the ball is already breaking towards the outside. He's your single high safety. He's nowhere even to be found. He's actually behind 2. They don't have an illegal pick on that play. They don't because they run it pretty well. DP2 runs into the actual pick. Okay, so you have that. And then you have DB1. He's getting bodied by a Duke defender 20 yards downfield. So you don't have a safety who can erase it. You're like running into a pick. You're in a man one when they're in a bunch. You're not calling it outright. It was egregious on everybody. I didn't like necessarily the call or how you kind of like checked out of that maybe because next thing you know, they're just run a simple Z out. It's in the flats. The effort, by the way, was atrocious. There's a couple guys in that film who are probably going to get called out in the film room because you need to go ahead and hustle to the ball. I know you just gave up the route, and I'm not trying to give you away, but I know you gave up the route, but you got to run a little bit faster than what you just did.
Bro, the 3 of them turning around and running in unison in a triangle to try to get the guy. I was like, what?
Safety,
what is
DB3,
that?
DB2. That's who it was.
Wild,
Safety,
dude.
DB3, DB2. And I'm not even mad at DB2. I'm not even mad at DB2. That's not who that's not who DB2, not DP2, DB2. I'm not even mad on it. Yeah,
Dude,
so I saw the play.
Warren played well today, man.
And listen, Duke, they victimized your middle linebacker. They got him on 2 touchdowns. One was an offensive PI. I'm going to soften that, but they literally isolated your running back. And then University of Miami, help me out here because you did it last week and you got lucky. You're literally putting Kiko out in coverage outside one-on-one with no safety help. So that is mind-boggling to myself because you're putting that kid in such a disadvantageous spot. And then we talked about it. When I watch what defenses try to do to limit and contain Cam Ward, there's so much cat and mousery. It's all over the place. It's a bunch of eye candy. It's this, it's that, it's this. Meanwhile, Malik Murphy goes up, just looks out there and goes, hey, look at that DB. He's 20 yards off the ball. Let me just go ahead and hit a slant. I wish teams played defense against us the way we play, because it's terrible right now. It's just there's a lot going on. Scoop, you missed it because you weren't in a watch along, but I told him, I was like, Mario needs to have a Saban moment with Guidry. He needs to have it because he needs to sit him down and just tough love and being like, listen, we have to have a talk. It's a come to Jesus moment right now because this isn't it. We either got to fix what we need to fix. We got to get new guys in there. We got to watch we got to get better with our personnel packages, and we can't sit there. I know we're scared to give up big plays, but you still gave up 31 points. We still gave up big plays, so it's not working. So let's change it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Zay he just needs to start. He needs to play.
You don't
He's
need
a
to
missile, bro.
You don't need to put 7 out there anymore. You just I'm sorry.
2-0 can play. This is getting to the point now.
I hate that I have to say that because I don't want to pick on kids. I don't. But he's in a funk. He's not playing. Again, you're going to see it. And it's just kind of, Florida State disappeared because everything disappeared. Your defense looks great against Florida State. But you take Florida State out of the mix, you're averaging over 30 points a game against conference opponents. That's what you're giving up. And it's always the same dudes. It's the same thing. It's like, well, I've seen this before. I've seen this before. I've seen this before. It's not like we're getting burnt in new ways. This is it's the secondary. It's the safety. It's the middle line. It's over and over and over.
I'm pretty sure American Heritage down the street could shut down FSU's offense, so it's not really saying a whole lot. Listen, and let's get off the players and let's talk about the coach. And Scoop, we were talking about this on the stream, so I was making the observation that because we were talking about the fact that, listen, Kiko it's just not working. But last year he was arguably our best defender. So what's going on? And Rose saying, well, he's just being put in bad spots. Well, so at what point does the DC make some changes to the scheme so that we're not leaving him on an island that he can't handle? It seems like we keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result, and it's not working. So at what point do we make and I also made the mention, this defense, Scoop, has been basically ass since the week we praised him for his adjustments. And that was like week 4 or whatever. And it's been
okay.
It's been Swiss cheese since then.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. Because what adjustments were made at halftime today? Right? You gave up 10 points in the second half. So you played much better in the second half. Now, my concern, a bigger concern for me, and I understand Kiko's getting isolated, and they're doing it on purpose, right? They understand that's the tendency for Guidry, is to allow him to play in space by himself. And they're isolating him, intently. My question is, Malik Murphy's not just 1, 2, 3 out, right? We have zero pressure from the front 4.
100%. We talked about that. Yeah.
We
didn't have a sack until there was like 5 minutes left, or like the last drive.
We didn't.
Yeah.
It was the young guys,
it was
too.
The final drive.
Yeah. It was the final
young
drive.
Guys.
We have zero pressure. And
Nothing.
we've said, well, it's because we're getting the ball out early, and that's been the case. It's kind of like our running game. Well, we haven't had to run. So can we? I think we can, but I'm not really sure. So we've said they're not getting pressure, but everyone's getting it out very quick. They're playing up tempo. They want to get it out. They don't want to have him standing back to. So we're like, well, that's it. Malik Murphy wasn't really snapping it loose real quick. We're nowhere near getting to him. And I'm like, how is that possible? Like, with these guys, how are we not getting the pressure?
On paper, we should have shredded that offensive line.
We're 9-0. We're 9-0. It hasn't updated.
Yes.
True or false? I mean, because it's only 8 games in. True or false? Coming into this game, your University of Miami leads the ACC in sacks. True.
Okay.
I thought Vatek had the lead, but
we're tied with them for 26. They're tied for first. University of Miami. It was one of those days.
After today, we don't. Actually, you know what? It's not true. Vatek had a bye.
So
who was in second?
It's 20. Miami's at 26 sacks. Virginia Tech 26. North Carolina at 25.
Well, they might have.
They may
have passed through us. Yeah, they might have had a few.
Now Duke had 2 sacks. Duke had 2 sacks.
Yeah, they might have had a couple.
So Duke now has 26 sacks.
I mean, can we relish? Can we just relish in FSU's misery for a bit?
They bent them over. They got another fisting this weekend.
Yeah, Duke actually kept us under.
So bad. I don't know.
But,
no, but
I will.
I can't even find
but I will
they took
tell
them
you,
off their board. They're so bad.
But earlier in the first half, it was hard to get sacks because of the cushion we gave him, and Malik was getting rid of the ball quick. It was later on we started to pin our ears because they needed to do some different routes, and the University of Miami were finally starting to bait it. Just the thing to take away from me is, like I said, it is so hard sometimes for Cam Ward and what defenses try to do to him. I just thought we made it real easy on the back end for Malik Murphy. We made it real easy for him to operate. And we said on the scout team, they're just going to take simple offense. They're going to 6 sacks.
They had 6.
Okay.
One guy had 3.5.
So they're 31. So North
himself.
Carolina, 31. So they're going to have 31 sacks, and Miami's going to have 27. So they're your new sack leader. So coming now, they're not, but they are. They
Florida
were
State's
coming in time
quarterbacks. Florida State's this is fun, man. I love this stuff. Florida and FSU lose again. It's a great Saturday. FSU's quarterbacks. Brock Glenn, 6 of 11.
Mm-hmm.
He had a touchdown.
He did.
He did.
Late.
Cromanhawk was 2 of 7 for 36 yards with 2 picks.
Oh, see, when I saw it, he was 0 for 3.
Yeah,
his QBR was 9.5.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could do that. And Chris Fallica, our boy,
incredible.
Bear. Chris Fallica, okay,
receivers, guy,
OBB alumni,
1 catch, 2.
And let's put a bow on Florida State, just like they put a bow on their season. But he said, and I quote, probably the best stat of all time.
Oh my God!
Florida State Seminoles will now end with 1 conference win, which ties Cam Ward with 1 receiving touchdown. They'll finish the season with the same amount, 1 and 1.
Same amount of conference wins as
and the
Cam
season's
Ward
still
has
early.
Receiving touchdowns.
Yeah, and Cam Ward.
You know
still
what? That's
beat
not true. That's not necessarily true. Cam Ward's got a chance.
He sure does.
I'll
to
be
have
honest
more
with you.
receiving touchdowns than they have ACC.
Do it again.
I'm not sure what the contract was, but man, you would almost think that given FSU that 1 win is grounds for Cal getting, sent out, relegated from the conference.
Oh my goodness! How did
oh
they lose?
man,
That's true.
they
They
got
have
Charleston,
one win because of you guys. Like, really?
Charleston Southern next week.
You woke bastards.
How about North Carolina running back Omarion Hampton? 32 carries,
Yes.
172 yards, 4 tutties.
They just
Yeah,
ran all over him.
I think he had like
It's just what Mac
150 like at the start of the third quarter.
I think once Mac is south of Georgia, that's what he's like. Yeah, we're just going to run the ball on these Florida people. They don't know how
I
to
didn't
defend the
see
run.
any counters today, by the way.
Yeah,
So
We know they work against them.
we're 9-0. We got 3 games left now. According to ESPN FPI, the Georgia Tech game was the one we have. It's only 71% or whatever. I think maybe
Georgia
it's up to
Tech did
76%.
beat Duke.
Yeah.
Close.
So,
but did they have
got-
Haynes King when that happened?
I believe
exactly.
so, yes.
And right now, Jenner's
They
in
don't.
Georgia. Our inside man with Georgia Tech is saying he's heard nothing. He actually heard Haynes King might be dead. So no, it's actually a lie.
That I did not hear. That's breaking news.
Yeah, not true. Not true,
Not
folks.
true.
Not true. Not
But no,
true.
he didn't-
Anyway,
he-
awful
yeah,
joke.
No,
awful joke.
no updates yet on Haynes King.
So he may be out.
He may be
May not
out.
play.
They didn't
So,
play
I mean,
today, right? No.
We got 2 on the road,
At a
1
bye.
at home against Wake. I felt the Duke game was the biggest hurdle we had remaining. First half, give you any qualms as we have 2 of the final 3 on the road, or I just pedal to the metal,
No, I mean,
12-0.
first half of today.
Yeah. Give you any concerns?
Well, no. I mean, I was a little, I'd say no, and then I say I was a little concerned. I like how I do that. But it comes down to, I can't finish a thought. It comes down to the fact you were playing Manny Diaz, and you knew they were going to be disruptive.
Mhm.
So, yeah, you stalled. Offense stalled. You go up, you get 14 quick, early, and then you've got nothing. And then you get down in the red zone, and you have to kick a field goal. And there's just nothing going on. Look, I mean, Duke had a chance. Duke had a chance to go 3 for 1. And the defense stepped up. Well, the defense stepped up once because it came out at halftime and they walked right down the field and scored again.
Yes.
But then that was it. Then Cam went bananas.
We effectively didn't even stop him, Scoop, at a certain point. Toast and I were joking on the watch along. I was like, the best play we have on defense is when Malik Murphy decides to punt
Mhm.
because he was just
every time he decided to punt, it was not a good punt.
No, not a good punt at
It
all.
was
And
crazy
OJ
to me.
was
I'm like,
there.
why does he
OJ
keep
was there
doing
for
that?
it.
But
Yeah.
at one point, I think we received 2 punts, and every other time they had scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like they had scored 4 touchdowns, and we got 2 punts. That was it. Right? I'm like, we haven't stopped them once. We have to hope that Malik Murphy punts because we can't stop him if he's not punting. So, yeah,
Clemson
they
is
did adjust.
they're only up 7-3 right now, middle of the second quarter against Louisville.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, there's tons of stuff going on here.
So
A&M needs to start scoring.
Canes will jump up to they'll go to 4.
Yeah, Penn State fraudulent
State
as always. We did what
Gets down, has a first and goal at the 1,
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't pull it off.
and gets no points.
Mm-hmm.
Well done.
Georgia was in a dogfight for most of it. Lagway
Dude, they were
was
until
hurt.
the fourth quarter. They were. Yeah,
They won by 14, but that's not a
was
pretty win.
2020
And
late.
I love the spin. Oh, that was a rivalry game, and they won by 2 scores, and it was close. They won't move.
they didn't cover.
No.
Lost by the hook. It was 14 and a half.
It was 14 and a half.
Yeah.
So
Well, hold
Go
on
Vegas.
a second. So what's
it's amazing how good.
So did
Vegas is.
Lagway get hurt?
Oh,
It
he
looked serious
did.
too. Yeah, Lagway got hurt.
Oh, how bad hurt?
Yeah, he was like carted off hurt, and everybody came.
Are you
over.
serious?
no.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dead serious.
I only said
Oh.
that because I saw that he was 2 for 6.
Yeah, no, he was 2 for 6. Had a big play touchdown. He
Yeah.
burnt them on like a 50-play touchdown. Safety got flat-footed. But no, yeah, he burnt them on that, and shortly after got hurt.
Damn.
Left hamstring.
Okay.
He was carted off, and like the whole team came to they did that thing where it's like it doesn't look good. So if it's a hamstring, it's a hamstring. It's better than a knee. We dealt with somebody with a hamstring issue this year. But 9-0. Manny Diaz. At one point in time, they kind of went back up on us. We needed to score. We're 2 down at that point, 2 scores down. And then we just went to ludicrous speed. Like we literally just hit. I mean, the fact of what the score was to what it ended up with at that point in time. What was it, 7 minutes left in the third? And Miami just said, "Excuse me," while yeah, exactly.
And I want to bring up one because I forgot what drive it was. It might have been right before the end of the first half, but there was another one of those drives where we gave them 3 first downs and 45 yards on personal fouls.
Bro, it was a 90-yard drive. They had 5 yards of offense.
Exactly. It's like, so again, like something like
that.
Like,
it was incredible. I'm like, this
insane.
is
yes.
They're ruining their stats.
5 of 52. It just seemed to pile up on that drive because Duke had 6 of 60. So we actually won the penalty battle.
It was the whole drive. It was
that
nuts.
whole drive. Yeah.
We won the turnover battle too. So
yes, you're right. Absolutely. Yeah. With the interceptions.
Yeah. We
well,
got
how many picks
3.
do we have? 3?
3,
I believe.
3 picks, but we had 2 turnovers. One, it didn't matter. We're going for 60.
And then we had a fumble too. So, we lost a fumble too late. So yeah, they had 4 turnovers. We had 2 because Cam Ward was trying to get greedy.
Oh, they did have a fumble. We were trying to debate whether or not Messidor meant to lateral that instead of pick it up.
I think he did try to. That was his
I don't know. It's like that looked so strange. Like it looked like that was intentional. How he tried to pick that, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right. So I think
there's got to be more to talk about. Come on.
No, listen. There's plenty more. We can talk about more college football, man. Like, Penn State once again falling. So one of those coaches had to end their streak of always losing to a top 5 team. So Ryan Day gets the reprieve. So how far does Penn State go? Like 7-8?
Yeah, look, there's a decent chance. I mean, look, if Ohio State loses that, there's probably no chance to make the playoffs. Penn State can lose, still a decent chance they get in. So that's kind of
good for the Big Ten.
We're old when I say that kind of ruins it for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like this game really didn't necessarily mean the world to Penn State because they could lose and still get in the playoffs. And it kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. But
listen, Miami
stuff changes.
Miami has a very winnable road in front of them. They can win the next 3 and do an unprecedented. Listen, it's not like we've gone undefeated in a regular season many times. Like we've had undefeated seasons, and they've been national championship seasons. Now, in the past, before the whole playoff thing, we would go 12-0 in regular season, play our bowl game in the national championship. Now the road is way harder. It's easier to get in, but it's harder to win it, I feel like now, because you just have to play so many more games to get it done. But they need to win the next 3 games because if you win the next 3 games, even if you lose the conference championship, which I hope they break that curse finally, you still have you still have every right to get into the playoffs.
Not so much.
You think if we're 12-0 and lose,
hold on. If we look at all the teams now that are going to have a loss that are from the SEC and the Big Ten, I'm telling you right now, you go to the ACC title game against Clemson. You lose that game and you lose that game by 20 or more. Like if it's not close, you're not going to the playoff. They will have you down to 13 or 14. I fucking guarantee.
I don't think that. I don't disagree, but I don't think that's the case because the reality is Miami is ratings. If Miami gets in the playoffs, Miami's ratings. Everybody's watching that game, rooting for us to fall flat on our face.
Right.
So.
I'm just saying,
I'm
I
with
can see a
you,
scenario.
but I think that is a business decision. That's a business.
In my mind, if we're running the table and make the ACC title game and we lose it, it's got to be close. It's got to be a good game, and then I think obviously we're guaranteed. But if we were to lay an egg, I'm concerned that they would leapfrog our ass.
SMU up on Pitt 14-3,
and A&M just scored, so they're down 17-13.
Syracuse came back to. Oh wait, Virginia Tech played today.
Oh, did they? Army won again.
And who won the Virginia
Without their
Tech
quarterback, they knocked off
Syracuse
Air Force.
Beat Vatech.
So here's what's going to happen. Army is going to be 9-0 when they take on Notre Dame at home.
You know, that's great, but Navy was 9-0. Navy was 7-0, and they got.
But Army's better
waxed.
than Navy.
Are they?
Well, if they had their quarterback back, I don't know what his status is.
I don't know. There wasn't that a pregame injury?
That was a late scratch, yeah. So I don't know what the status was. They won 20-3.
I mean, who was better, Army or Navy? I don't know. They both.
I thought Army was.
I don't know the answer to that.
Black Knights. Come on, the Black Knights are better.
That was a cool helmet, though. Do you see the helmets? Awesome. What are you watching, Ro?
Tennessee and Kentucky. Tennessee.
Yeah, I got the 4-box going on right now.
Yeah, I got the 4-box too.
I got Wisconsin, Iowa, that game, Clemson. Someone's coming off the field.
SMU. Clemson, Louisville's about to score on Clemson.
Well,
look, why don't we have Louisville
goal.
just take Clemson down?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would essentially take Clemson out of the potential.
I mean, here's the thing. There's
picture.
6 minutes left in the second.
Clemson's not going to get into the playoffs if they.
It's 7-3, and Louisville's about to score.
Yeah, but their one loss is a good loss. It's Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Not if they lose.
I can
again,
see
though.
them getting in with 2 losses. Absolutely.
I don't, because that's
Clemson getting in what? 2 losses?
That's what you said.
No. Well, the only way is if they win the championship.
Yes, they have to win the ACC
it's
title.
Automatic.
Yes, automatic.
Well, that's not.
But everyone else is losing, man. Like top teams are getting tagged with a loss. So
look, if SMU beats Pitt, now they have the tiebreaker on Pitt because they have the same records, but they have a head-to-head. You could potentially see a University of Miami versus a University of Miami JV ACC championship.
I mean, we've got one.
I don't think I want that.
We've got 2
I do,
undefeated
because
teams
we
now
were
in the
talking
top.
before you guys got on the show, Jenners and myself, and legitimately they would set the line at 90.
We have 3 undefeated
Total
teams now
behind.
in the top 10. BYU, Miami, and Oregon. Penn State no longer there. So you look at who else has a loss. So Tennessee's got a loss. Texas, Notre Dame. Like any of these guys lose.
Louisville just scored.
There we go.
Nice QB run.
They're winning 10-7.
Yeah, 10-7 on the road in Death Valley. Louisville's a good.
I mean, look at Alabama could easily get in with 2 losses. They're at 14 right now. And they got 2 losses. They went out. They're probably going to be top 12.
Oh, they can sneak in with 2
Absolutely,
losses.
they'll
they
sneak
could.
in. Are you kidding me?
Can.
Indiana. I mean, does
Indiana waxed
MSU
MSU today?
Yeah,
they're going to say, "Oh, we lost
to Indiana, Ohio State in 2 weeks."
Yeah.
Wait, what? Ohio State, Michigan doesn't end the season? Wow.
Oh, Michigan.
Oh wait, no, hold on a second. No, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Indiana's schedule. Yeah, so they got Michigan, then at Ohio State on the 23rd.
Who's got that?
Indiana. So Indiana is, that'll be fun against Ohio State.
No, that should be a good game for them.
That was a beatdown.
I listen. We got to take care of the last 3. Go undefeated in the regular season. Yeah, you got to, and then you just have a chance to play in an ACC championship game. Which the last time we were there and we played a Clemson team, we got embarrassed. So hopefully we can do the unthinkable. We have the quarterback, we have the offense to do it, and we'll see who our opponent's going to be. You know, a lot of it's going to kind of shake down.
I was surprised by the amount of passing today.
By who?
I thought by Miami.
Mm.
I thought it was going to be a very similar ground and pound as FSU, and they went after him through the air, man.
Well, and I also think that, listen, they grounded and pound last week, but you've got a quarterback that's in a fight for the Heisman, and getting 400 yards and 5 touchdowns helped him.
I certainly did.
So, I think they've shown the ability they can run, and the running game was fine today when they went to it.
Absolutely,
each of those guys averaged over 6 a carry. So I don't have an issue if you want to air. I mean, they ran it when they wanted to.
They pushed them around.
Yeah,
I mean, there was a couple times like 5 yards downfield we were pushing some of their.
Bro, those runs were all right up the gut again.
I mean, that's just what we do.
That's what they do.
We do not
look. They tried.
We're
a
not
couple off tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the tackle for losses.
Yeah, right.
I would love, and I was saying, I would love if they ran I formation. I think 2 or 3 times with Lofton as the fullback.
Okay, Mark.
Gave it to him on the one who got the touchdown, right? Or 3.
That was 14 set personnel. There was 4 tight ends on the field.
They ran that multiple times today.
Yeah. They like to do that inside the red zone.
Yeah. So I would love to see a toss. I would. I'm just begging for a toss out of I. And we don't do it.
You know how the Dolphins
the
Dolphins aren't really they're not really relevant this year. Obviously Tua got hurt. But even last year, they said, they're finesse. They had like the #1 offense in the NFL, but they got criticized for being too finesse. And when it got down to the winter weather, they didn't have a running game that could travel. Miami Hurricanes do not have that issue. for as many points that we score through the air, you automatically think we're finesse. Okay? I put this on the Orange Bowl Boys account.
That's crazy,
it's the one that
right?
said dangerous. The one that said dangerous. Now, Cam Ward throws a touchdown to Xavier Restrepo. I believe it was his second touchdown.
It was second.
You need to look at what Maui Noah, your right tackle, does to their defensive end. You want to say that the University of Miami Hurricanes are finesse, especially even in the pass, bro? Bro, he knocks him out. He literally swings on him. I don't even know how it's legal. It's a club block. He literally lays out the defensive end.
I did see that. Look, I'll tell you,
they are the farthest from finesse.
Yeah, we hung out afterwards outside the stadium, so the girls could get some pictures and stuff with some of their people. And Steph says to me, now we've talked about this in the past. She goes, man, these kids are big.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's one of those things where you're next to them nowadays and they look the part. They're the part. So Kiko and his brother walk out and she's like, oh, those are the Samoan kids. Bro.
Tell me Markel Bell walked out in front of her.
Didn't see him actually.
Okay.
Yeah, totally missed. I was hoping that was. It didn't happen. It didn't happen.
Really? Wait until you see this dude.
Yeah, no. I did not see him. But it was.
They looked the part.
They looked the part, dude. These, you know, I mean, the difference too in Arroyo, to be honest with you, and we saw him a number of years ago, somewhere, and then I was like, that's Arroyo. And she's like, oh my God, he's grown up. Like, it's like they're just so mature.
Cool moment with him and Manny in the field after pretty much everyone had kind of dispersed. Manny kind of waited to give him a hug. And X, yeah.
That's
very
awesome.
cool moment. They got some photos of it. Yeah. But
yeah, I retweeted it too.
And we were talking,
he's good, dude.
Scoop. Like, it's so cool that it's a local kid that's now shattered all these records.
Yeah, it's a local kid.
You know?
A local kid who has been doubted. He's been every step of the way. Every step of the way he's been doubted, dude.
Yeah.
And he's and look, he might have the best hands we've ever seen here. It's pretty impressive.
Bro, he had a drop today, which was insane because we never see drops. We were shocked. Our jaws hit the floor.
So he had
it was technically one, but yeah, it could have been
technically one. The first one he should have held on to. He got popped. The third one, the hand was in there, got ripped out. But he had the drop. Now, I will say this. I think he never saw the ball.
Because it went into the sun.
It was directly into this. I'm like, he's short, like his arms got short. The whole thing looked off. And I'm standing there, and Novak goes, he won't use that as an excuse.
Of course not. That's just
and I said, you're absolutely right. I'm telling you, it went directly into this. I would appreciate if you threw it to the south side of the field from now on.
Yeah, you get any advantage, you could throw the visiting team into the sun and they get to bake all day, but you have to there's a couple times.
100%. I'm going to ask him 100%. There's no chance that wasn't like, oh, I lost it for half a second. Because he doesn't drop it. He doesn't drop anything.
No, ever.
And everyone's like,
special season.
Oh my God. I was like, what? Did he drop that?
From him.
Isn't that crazy?
We were also when Cam's having an amazing season. He's going to be one of the top two quarterbacks taken in the draft, which means he'll go like top 5 at the worst, top 3, whatever. The one thing, Scoop, that they're going to have on that film, scouts, like the one negative, why won't he ever throw to the check down?
It's not true. He did today.
Well, yeah, but there were other, but for the most part, man, he hates doing that. And on the interception, there was someone there right in front of him, 5 yards in front of him. He could have thrown to. It was wide open, and he went across his body. It was like, bro, why? Just take what they're giving you.
Yes, but he did today.
No,
he had a nice check. He had 2 check downs actually to Martinez.
Yes, he did.
I mean, and one was late. Like, it was a late check down. I was actually shocked that he threw it to him. And it was a nice game.
Let me ask you a question. And I'll tell you where he is stats-wise. And he's still got a few games to go, Xavier Restrepo. Could he be an All-American this year?
How many catches does he have?
So I'm looking at his stats
50.
before this game. He had 43.
51. He had 8 today, I think.
And then he had 710 yards coming into this game.
So
So
he's got
43.
850.
Okay, 850 at 50. Okay, so currently, before he got it, he's 18th on the list. Touchdowns, he has 6. There's guys ahead of him. But here's the thing.
6 before today.
Yes, he
So
had
he's got
6
9.
touchdowns. So he's got 9 touchdowns. So now, depending on how everybody else, I see a couple people with 10, 9, some people 12. He's there, but there's, a guy from Troy, Toledo, FIU. All right. There's Travis Hunter with 8 touchdowns. FIU, Iowa State, Middle Tennessee, App State, TCU, Arkansas, Maryland. All right.
He's all G5.
So he's 51 for 856 and 9 tutties.
It's safe to say he's going to be an all ACC player because you got Ja'Cory Brooks from Louisville. He has 8 touchdowns and he averages 99 a game, but that's the only ACC. So first team all ACC, I get. But Jeremiah Smith, 17th, right above him, but now X is going to get him. Jeremiah Smith has 8 touchdowns. Nick San Jose.
What's the average
State
per game? Where's he ranking that? Because he's got 95.1 average per game.
Oh, and that's what they rank. Okay, so before coming into this game, his average is going to go up. That's what this is based off. Xavier
He's at
Restrepo
95.1 now.
88.8. So 95.1 would put him safely. Probably Travis Hunter's at 94.6. So he's right above.
So he's
Travis
better
Hunter.
than Travis Hunter.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Give X,
all I needed to hear.
X for Heisman.
Yeah.
But Travis Hunter can have his own category. He's an All-American athlete. You don't put him as a wide receiver. You don't put him as a corner.
Here's the problem, though. There's only 2 receivers as All-Americans. If there was 3 receivers, because you actually gave it to a slot guy, which is its own category.
Yeah, that's
if we want to be honest, that's its own category. He would run away with that. But he's competing with all the dudes on the outside.
Yeah.
So I don't think the accolade is. I think he'll make the Blitnikoff finalists.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
Listen,
amazing.
he's going to end with close to 70 catches. He's going to clear 1,000 yards.
He's got 53 already. He's got 3
51.
left.
He's got 51.
He's got 51. He's got 3 left
for
plus any
856.
games, any playoff games.
So
these stats can get really inflated because if you go deep into the playoffs, and I don't know how those are going to factor in because that award ceremony happens typically before any kind of playoff games would happen.
Well, but at this point, they'd be getting a bye, so they're not going to have the full playoff run.
Yeah. If they can go ahead and they can lock, they have to win the ACC championship for the bye. Now, they could lose the ACC championship, still get in the playoffs, but they will not get a bye if they lose the ACC championship. You're playing for a bye.
And listen, man, you look at this, and obviously it's going to look a bit different next year. But I mean, coming back, and you got Isaiah and Jacoby, and I'm liking the wide receiver room. And there's just I've seen Riley get a catch late.
Look, Zay he's really turned it on. Horton has really turned it on.
Yeah.
I've been hearing his name for 2 years before this year.
He's got 46 catches.
He's got 5 left the next.
He's
great hands, runs very good routes. Super, super consistent. I saw him today too. He's big, bro. These kids are. What is he? 6'4", 6'5". It's one of those things where you look at them and assume they play basketball. These are some big kids.
Yeah. For the season, Martinez and Fletcher are at 5.7 and 5.6 average, respectively.
Of course they are. They're probably within 5 carries of each other too.
No, they're not. They're not. Damien's significantly got more carries by about 30 more, so that's where the big discrepancy. But average-wise, they're right there with each other. And
how many yards does Damien have?
Damien's got 604. Fletcher's got 436 right now. 8 touchdowns to 6 touchdowns.
So you know what? If you consider the ACC championship game into the playoffs, Damien Martinez, and you could get a playoff game in there. Damien Martinez has a shot to get 1,000 yards. He could be 1,000-yard back.
Possibly, yeah. He's got to keep cranking it out the last 4 games.
And it's just going to come down how he tests.
Yeah.
He's obviously going to get an NFL combine.
But listen, he's definitely running more physical now. Like, he's starting to impose himself these last couple of weeks that we're seeing that we didn't see at the beginning of the season.
And listen, this is the time of the year, knock on wood, but you're going to see a lot of other teams too. The injury bugs are going to come on because these running backs, they're not used to this, man. If you get some of these running backs and they got a lot more, it's tough, man. They're going to be absorbing these blows, and then they're 12, and then you're 13 games because you don't have a bye, 14, 15, 16 games in, even an AC. Like somebody, my goodness, man, they're playing 16 games. Some of these teams are going to play 16 games, and you see what it does to the NFL. right? There's a lot of injuries that get absorbed. You're playing a violent game, and you're walking out into traffic a lot more when you do this. You know, we haven't seen it yet because this is the first iteration of this 12-team playoff, but you know, having Fletcher come back healthy this year is a godsend. It's a godsend because Martinez, you want him hot late. You didn't want him hot early. He has gotten hot late, man. Some jump cuts that I saw in film today, very impressive. You know he definitely can be physical. So, and they share the love. If Fletcher's not there, he's probably closer to 1,000 yards. We know it. And he's bell cow back. But I'm better with him having less numbers with Fletcher there than him with more numbers and Fletcher not there.
Speaking of Fletcher, and the brotherhood of this university, you know, obviously we know he lost his father last week, and Big Mark's funeral was yesterday. Let's talk about how fantastic this team and program and everything is, right? 4 buses deep. Every player, every staff member, everyone was there for him for that yesterday. So it's a fraternity, it's a brotherhood. Like, these guys live and die for one another. Like, it's a special group. And for them to show him that support, it's pretty awesome.
They gave a couple of 2 different times they showed pictures of Mark Sr. on the screen during the broadcast, paying tribute. Didn't hear what they were saying, but yeah, it was. Listen, it's supposed to be a family, and when you're hitting and everything's going good, it's supposed to be a family. It's supposed to be a fraternity. It's supposed to mean something. And it does.
And look, you saw everyone surround him when he scored that touchdown late.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, he dropped it.
Oh.
He says he swear he saw the ball. I'm like, I don't believe you. He's like, no, not really.
Kentucky's shutting out Tennessee right now.
7-0.
Louisville
And
7-0
trying to pop it in here.
Late in the second
Really?
half
Trying to pop it in here. They're in the red zone with a minute to go. Yeah.
Yeah, first
Trying
and
to
goal.
pop
Let's
it in and go up
watch
10.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10-7 right now.
10-7, trying to go up 17-7 on half
And
on the
A&M's
road.
trying to knock it in right now also to go up 20-17, which would be nice.
I like this 4-box.
Yeah, bro.
So hold on a sec. So is this on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
YouTube DB.
So
Yeah.
hold on a second. I need to tell you guys a very cool secret.
Oh no.
So if you press up on the remote, it brings you on the right side.
Digging me?
Hold on. I'm trying to find my remote in here. So
stats for nerds?
No. So if you go to a game, good.
Not the 4-box.
No, just choose one of the games.
Oh, it's 3rd and 3.
All right, hang on.
Okay, choose a game.
Clemson. All right.
If you go up, you know how you can hit up, and it takes you so the up arrow, it'll take you to where there's all the college football games on that you can just scroll down through.
I see the stats for nerds. I do not see
stats. Stats and scores, and you can just click on it and go to the game.
It's incredible. There's a whole list of all the games.
There's a whole list of hit stats and scores row, lower right hand corner, and it'll.
No, I just wanted to stick right there because your Louisville Cardinal goes
just scored, baby. There we go. No, but it'll just miniaturizes that screen, so I'm still watching it.
Yes,
on the right side now.
You've got all the games,
all the other games,
all the scores. It's incredible.
And just click on it. And
I found this like 2 weeks ago. I'm like,
see this.
What is this?
Oh, and it will keep the little. Oh my goodness, no shit.
Isn't that amazing?
All right, what do I do? Go up. All right.
Wait a minute, I wasn't paying attention.
Totally miss it out. He's got.
I'm on the 4-box. On the 4-box.
No. Go to a single game.
Choose a game.
Just go to a single game.
Go to a single game.
I got Louisville and Clemson. Okay, got it.
So once it comes on, click up.
All right. Oh, hold on. Now
it
press up.
takes a second to come up. You go from the 4-box.
And it should be scores and games or
scores and stats. Yeah, click on that.
Click on that, and then you get a list of all the games.
Now, every game you click on, you'll still see all the scores. It'll just change the game in the box. That's
This
sweet.
is riveting podcasting.
It
I
is.
just said whatever, man.
Watching
Yeah,
the
you-
three
it's the
guys
end of-
point remotes into the sky.
Whatever. It's the end,
Especially
it's the
me,
end of
'cause
an
I'm-
hour-long recap show. The recap's done.
I mean, I see
Anyone
the-
watching at this stage
I see
has a
the
serious
scores on
life
that.
problem.
Oh, so then you could just pick on that game and then that game.
But
will-
it gives you
Yeah,
all
but it
the
gives you all the other
scores. You can
scores. You can
choose.
see
You
it
can
all
go
and how
right
much
to the
time.
game. You don't have to
Yeah.
search for anything.
Pretty
It's
cool. I like
amazing.
it. And the
It's
key plays
amazing.
you can go to, and it has stats too.
okay.
You can click on the
like it.
stats for each game. Oh, this is pretty fun. Yeah.
It's pretty
all
cool, right?
It's pretty cool.
I know.
17-7, 43 seconds to go. Let's go.
Let's
Louisville.
go.
Let's go.
Cardinals.
77. Yeah, knock Clemson out. I don't want them in the ACC championship game. Boot them right out. I'd rather play somebody else.
I know I want Texas A&M
SMU.
score a touchdown here going into the half. That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
an SMU Miami matchup would be kind of fun.
All right, listen, we're out. All right, so Rose got a thing this week. Everyone, are we good to do Tuesday night?
Yeah, I'm around.
I'll try. It's either
Scoop?
Tuesday or Thursday.
Scoop's
'cause
eyes went wide.
No, I have to. It goes wide because it's the only way I can see my phone without my
Okay,
glasses.
all right. So Scoop's gonna check his schedule, but that's what we're
Yes,
looking
I
at.
can do Tuesday.
All right, so we're doing Tuesday with
I'll
a
let
Wednesday
you know
drop.
about Tuesday because if anything, it might have to be Thursday because your
Oh,
girl
oh.
is playing a state championship. So
Okay,
I'll
all
let
right,
you know where
whatever.
I'm at.
Wednesday,
Tuesday.
Wednesday championship.
I might bring my rig and do the show Tuesday night, maybe
Okay.
on location.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll
figure it
figure.
out.
Plan on
All right.
Tuesday. Plan on Tuesday.
9-0, 5-0. Let's go. As always.
Go!
Range.